Hello and welcome back to Hudson Auto Films. Today's episode, something slightly different. We're not exactly working on cars today, and that's for a few reasons. Right now it is early September and it's boiling hot. And in a couple of days' time, I leave for America for 8 weeks. By the time this video actually comes out, I'll probably be home, but I try and film everything as far in advance as possible so I can give you guys content every couple of weeks. But as a result, I've been rushing around the last month or so, because at this point in time, I've only had the channel for a month and a half, and it's, there's a lot of you about now. So I've been rushing around the last month or so, trying to film as much as I humanly can to last the duration of my stay in America so I can keep putting it out. And as a result, this is the state of the barn. So we've got all the parts from the red DBS, taking up a huge amount of space, more parts there. We've got all the parts from the silver DBS, all the interior, doors, spare front end, bonnets, everything. At the present moment, it's kind of really hard to film in here. There's just not enough space. And at this point in time, this might not make sense, or this might make sense because of the way the videos come out, but I'm about to start bracing that car. So I need to make some space so I can safely use the welder, all that sort of thing, and just be in a good spot. Because also, by the time I'm back, I will have more equipment. I've got a big rotisserie coming, all that sort of thing. So we need to make space so I can hit the ground running when I get back. So today we're moving all the parts from the barn to the bunker, which I introduced a few videos ago, I think. And we're also going to move Alpha. We don't have an Alpha. We're going to move the Lancia there and the Reliant Robin. And if you didn't know, I've got a Reliant Robin. Of course I do. I like British rubbish. No, it's a good car. But so yeah, it's a moving day, clear some space and see what we can do. So follow me along for this one, and let's see if we can make this barn less of a hoarder's paradise and more of a workshop again. So kicking things off, welcome to my junkyard. I'm not sure if I've even spoken about this Lotus, but that is a Lotus Elite without a roof, which I have got something very interesting coming for that later next year, I think, by the time I get round to it. The Lancia is here in all its glory, in all its rusty glory. That is a Playmobil clown, a life-size one. And that is a trailer full of Lancia parts and some Aston parts. So that is the first load. We need to take the trailer to the bunker, sort out, need to load a few more bits up, and then we can move the Reliant, the Lancia, and all the bits inside. So load number one is done and everything's stacked. So got mainly Lancia bits on this load. Lots of wings, lots of doors, bonnet, spare wheel, exhaust, Reliant door card, some Reliant bumpers, and those are the inner sills, inner wheel arches of the Aston we cut off, which are completely rotten, but I wanted to use them as references in case we do rebuild the original style, because everything's, up for question. And there's the Aston fuel tank. So let's get back and do another load. So I've just got back to the house as I need to pick up some things from here as well. I've got bits scattered everywhere, so it's time to get it all together. Picked up some metal, which was delivered a couple of days ago for the bracing. So I've got 3 huge bits of steel box section, which I'm about to load up. Got the AMV8 bonnet, which is at the moment, I'm not sure what it's going to be used for. It came on the silver DBS, but obviously not the correct bonnet. We've got loads of bonnets for that now, correct ones. Also got some bits and bobs for the DBS, the silver DBS in here, and its gearbox, but leave the gearbox here for now. And then load up, back to the land, pick up more stuff, bunker. So here we go. So there we have it for this load. Bonnets in, all the sill plates, rear bumper, and these 3 massive pieces of box section steel for the bracing. I've definitely gone a bit overboard on the thickness of these, but, well, more rigid the better, really. So I'm going to drop the steel off the land, fill the trailer up, and then drop everything else off at the bunker. Right, I've now unloaded the steel. I'm going to start off by putting the rear skin in the trailer. So I wish it would fit that way, but it's a small trailer, so I'm going to have to tilt it upwards So it's going to have to rest on the rear part of the car, which is fine. So light, it doesn't really warp. I'm going to pad it well. So let's move that in first and then we can shape things around it. Well, that is one rather full trailer. I've stacked everything as best as I can. A lot of the parts I put in aren't reusable, but I'm keeping everything for now because I don't really want to regret chucking anything away at this relatively early stage. You never know when things might come in useful or you need to reference something. So I'm keeping everything for now, even if it's completely junk. So that is one trailer load full and we are nowhere near done. Torn whether I leave the doors here, as I will need them at certain points for referencing door gaps when I'm doing welding, making sure everything's square. Still need to move all the wheels. I haven't even started trying to move any of the silver DBS parts, but the main focus was really to clear this area so I could start safely welding, and it's just a complete mess. So join me whilst I do the thrilling job of just clearing up a little bit. We'll take another load, come back, lots of loads. I apologise if this episode is boring, but the reality of, you know, working on cars is lots of days like this where you have to do a lot of logistical things. This channel is obviously about builds, but it's also about me and my journey with cars, and I'm trying to document it as best as I can. And this is just part of it. You know, you have to make a mess, clear up, get things out again, and yeah, it's all part of the process. So I thought, you know, I'm not gonna make regular videos like this where I just kind of tidy things up, but after all the work we've done, you know, it's been 100% necessary. So let's keep cracking on, and then we'll have a workshop again so we can build some cool cars. Right, well, that's a little bit more like the workshop I remember. Unfortunately, all that's still to do. But let's take a load and keep moving. Today's a productive day. The sun's almost setting, so we're gonna have to carry this into tomorrow, but we're getting there. So there we have it, another load. That giant load is now all unpacked. And at the back, I still need to move the MG forward, and I'm just going to completely dominate the rear part of the building. But yeah, it's coming along, and yeah, everything's just stacked and able to be laid out without having to be all put on top of each other, which is nice. And yeah, so one more big load, I think, and then just 2 cars. That is a little closer to a usable barn. Still a lot of stuff, but we're getting there. And I think this is about where I'm going to leave it on the barn front today. It's just, yeah, a lot better, a lot more workable space, a lot of space around the cars for work so we can get to bracing. And that is good. That's all we need to do. So now it's just one more load to the bunker and move the Reliant there. Then we can call it a day. So let's get loading the Reliant. And a slight thing we've got to figure out is the trailer isn't a solid base trailer. So we need to make sure the Reliant doesn't fall through because it's only got 3 wheels. So let's get onto that and let's get it moved.
So comfortable with you. I feel like
The amount of times the Reliant has fallen off the trailer is ridiculous, and today was no exception. So we finally got it on. Perks of not having a solid bed trailer. But now we can take it to the bunker and do it all over again. See if it falls off this time. So let's go. So the Reliant is now in. This is not how I wanted to format it. I wanted to put these two at the back and then move the Merc forward, but I just don't have time today. So I might get to that tomorrow, but we'll see. But yeah, it's looking good. They're secure. It's hot. But there we have it. We have done a proper clear out of the barn, so it's now usable space after completely dismantling the red car and doing a lot of work on the silver car. So yeah, that was a job well done, and I'm happy that the Lancia and the Reliant are in the bunker, so they are undercover for winter, because even though it's a lovely day now, winter will come fast and it will just wreck those cars even further. So they're nicely cocooned away, and yeah, everything's safe, so we can get cracking on some proper work again on the cars soon. Thank you so much for watching this video. I know it's a different one, but it's just the reality of having a hobbyist workshop. You've got to make some mess, clear it up, and then make some mess again. But I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and if you want to see extra bonus content, please check out my Patreon. Any money donated on the Patreon or the members section of YouTube goes straight into the builds and just allows me to make content quicker. I'm trying my best to put out content every couple of weeks. Hopefully that will pick up in the near future. It's just, these cars take a long time to work on, and it's not quite as simple as, you know, working on a Mazda or something like that. But yeah, we're getting there and we're making progress. So thank you again, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.